First of all, we always plow our parcels. I mean, we don't like to have grass in our rows. And we don't like to have roots which are just under the surface of the soil. Vines are very lazy, and if you don't force them to go deeper into the soil, and therefore to find a balance and in habitat that allows them to develop themselves on their own without needing help, you need to get rid, just by ploughing, of those superficial roots. So that's one of the main elements why we plough, and as well grass, because the only way to get rid of grass, if you don't want to use chemicals, is by ploughing it. It's as simple as that. And it helps aerating the soil, and therefore as well it helps the vines sort of age in a much nicer manner. And as well, there's a very important element. People talk about compaction of soil. So when you don't know, you think the compaction of soil comes from tractors, which means nothing. It's not because you're gonna go through your vineyard with a horse that there will not be any compaction of soil. The main compaction of soil comes from the rain, and it makes sense. The rain is very heavy, and it clocks, it sort of glues together all the soil, and that's where the compaction comes. So after the winter and after all that amount of rain that we have, it's extremely important to then let the soil breathe again. And what's quite fascinating after the winter, once we've done a couple of ploughing, the soils are almost like a cushion. You see there, you float on it when you walk through your rows, and immediately you will see the vine explode. And that's, if you want to accelerate a bud break, you do a good ploughing, and all of a sudden the vine breathes and starts growing. And within a couple of days, and we've seen it in 2020, because of course for us, a stay at home meant work every day in the vineyard. With such an extreme weather we've had at that time, we've seen the vine, within 2 days, the vines had developed the equivalent of 3 weeks. It was fascinating to see, just by ploughing the soil. So ploughing is key. But then when we pull out the parcels, we will do a normal plough, but not a deep plough anymore. That was a big mistake that was done before. We will use plants like mustard, for example, to have their roots, which are deeper roots, sort of breaks the potential compaction in a very depth of the parcel, and then go and aerate those parcels in a deeper way. But deep ploughing is not a good thing, because what you do by when you deep plough, you sort of break the natural layers in the soil.
Yeah, which it's a very valid point. And actually, yeah, then you're actually opening up all the microorganisms underneath to sort of predators and pests and things like that, aren't you? Whereas they're living in,
exactly.
It's a whole other world and a whole discovery there. The soil it's fascinating. It's something that really interests me, and I think it makes a big difference to the wines. But